Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Symphogear XV, episode 11. Episode 11. We are still a ways off from the finale. I mean, ways off. 3 episodes, really. 11, 12, 13. I think XV is 13 episodes, right? It didn't break the mold of Symphogear seasons being 13 episodes. Hopefully not. Because if so, then what I'm going to say makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, if it is, actually, I'm just going to check it. Symphogear XV 13. Yes, I do have a Symphogear XV 13 file, so it is 13 episodes. A lot can happen, is what I'm trying to say, in 3 episodes. And I wonder what exactly will happen, and what exactly will be that that bit of a gotcha moment. Because I fully expect some sort of a gotcha moment, the same way it happened in the previous season, right? Oh, you thought you won because you defeated Adam, but haha, you thought, here comes Adam's arm turned into a god, and, you know, that whole plot that I talked a little bit about at the end of the previous season. Because immediately, the immediate danger is, of course, Miku, or Shem-Ha inside of Miku's body. But I have a feeling it might be some sort of a secondary kind of boss, in that the girls defeat Miku, or Shem-Ha in Miku's body, but then Shem-Ha turns out got enough MacGuffins to take upon its real form, and now we have to face against Shem-Ha, perhaps with Miku's help, who knows, might very well happen. With the Shojing, she's already used to that, so maybe she will henshin with Shojing and be the 7th Ranger. That's honestly the very likely thing, that for them to defeat the final boss, they will need the 7th one, Miku's help, because 7 planets, 7 notes on a musical scale, etc, etc, etc. 7 colors in the rainbow as well, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it 9? Some odd number in any case. Anything else? Right. What was I? Oh, I was talking... Sorry, it's a little late. I was talking about my predictions for the future. But let's go back a little bit to the previous episode and talk about what happened there. And what happened was, quantitatively, not all that much. It was mostly just combat, but quite a few important things happened. First of all, Kirika and Shirabe got their Chrysopia form, so that was cool. Second of all, we got the full transformation of our alchemist trio. They were swayed by Shem-Ha, given fully monstrous forms. They are stronger than ever, but at the cost of their humanity. Thankfully, they have a brand new plan. They no longer need their humanity. Instead of themselves turning into humans, they will simply turn the rest of the humanity into monsters. That works, right? That works perfectly well. So now they have a new goal, and Shem-Ha will help them with it. Probably. Maybe. Possibly not. Trusting the villain in Symphogear never worked for anybody in the history of the entire show. Literally never. Nobody ever got anything good out of trusting a villain. They always end up betrayed. That's one of the constants of this show. So that's also probably what's going to happen in this case. And of course, the final important thing that we got is, well, the episode ended with the girls being teleported to Shemha's base on the moon. So now we are no longer on Earth. Now the lack of oxygen will also be an issue. Not when they are hensient, perhaps. We have seen them flying through space multiple times already. But if they aren't henshined, they are at risk. And they got forcibly dehenshined. Or perhaps because they lost consciousness. That's what dehenshined them. Hard to tell. And also doesn't really matter, right? What else happened? We know that Shemha is looking for some MacGuffins to restore her full strength, full power. Fragments of Shemha, something like that. It's still unclear. So I wonder what those are. And I wonder if in the end Shemha will manage to find them all. And that will be the big bad boss. Possibly. Probably, honestly. Anything else that needs to be mentioned? I don't think so. I think we can just start watching it. The camera really doesn't like my white shirt, right? It makes everything else dark around me. And I turned off auto exposure, supposedly. Whatever. You're not here to look at my face. You're here to hear my voice. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Whatever, I'm mumbling again. So let's just watch this episode. How about that? How does that sound? Also, my nose is a little bit, you know, I get a little bit of sniffles. So forgive me if my voice is a little nasal or if I sniffle every now and then. Regardless, you're gonna need your subs to follow along. And I'm gonna need to reset the timer. And I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on. And I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, for example, link in the description below. Or not, share my content, spread the word. That helps a lot and costs you absolutely nothing. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 11 of Symphogear XV in 3, 2, 1, go. What's that? Whomst? Wait, it... Oh. I was about to ask, am I watching the right show, but... It is Shemha and someone. That's the bracer. Okay, Shemha versus Enki. Ergetlam. Okay. That's the silver arm. That's probably Maria's relic. And I guess both are dead. Or at least as dead as deities, demigods, whatever they are, can be. What's Fina got to do with it? Enki is a deity older than the Tower of Babel. Not the Tower of... Yeah, Babel, Tower of Babel. So... And Fine... No, wait. They might actually be from the same time. Yeah, Fine was in love with a supreme god or something like that. So is there a god above Enki and Shemha? Or did Fine have the hosts for either Enki or Shemha? I don't know. Stinging nettle tea with a side of ants. Yeah. I have no clue how are ants able to smell this water. I don't know what they want here. Probably water. Maybe sugar, I have no clue. But I'm legit putting everything in the fridge because nothing is safe from those fucking ants. They made a colony in like a door frame because I have metal empty door frames inside and whatever. I got used to it. Such as I mean, they could probably jump really high. Henshin, jump really high, and they would probably be able to survive re-entry. Yeah, probably. And don't wallow. Yeah. Enki wants out. Can't Shemha make another one? Also, why are you spread all across this base? Okay, so her spine is fucked up. Intruders. Okay, what's that? Why? Aren't you Shemha's servants and the ruins belong to... or are the ruins Enki's thing and not Shemha's? Oh, possibly. That's a lot. Did you consider henshining? Exactly. Been a while since we've seen Hibiki's henshin, and I still love those big hands. And the heavy stomps. I really like Hibiki's combat style. I probably mentioned it many times. It's not like, fast swings. It just punch, punch, stomp. Okay, so at least we know they're alive. Because they haven't henshined yet, I'm assuming. Yeah, actually, if they just sent the lunar mission they wanted. Sure. Thigh lasers, why not? Yeah, don't get distracted. I really love those Hibiki stomps, honestly. And she's turned into a drill that will pierce the heavens. Who needs Gangnir? She is Gangnir. Because brute force is cool. Simple as that. Oh, so Miku is still fighting. Yep. Kinda, I guess. Miku means future? Do you really need binoculars to observe it? I mean, maybe to watch it up high. Enki's secret weapon? True. A glowing bowl and crystals. Yeah, very similar to the thing that Ver operated. To those ruins. Hello, Enki. So he's an AI now? Okay, kinda. Okay, so Balal is a network jammer. What network, though? Oh, okay, they got through. Are they using Balal? Yeah, essentially. Is because you are tools. Yep. Okay, so essentially a hive mind. So Earth is essentially a supercomputer. Okay. So you need to destroy the Earth and destroy humanity in order to kill Shemha. Or that. Sure. It's a blessing of Balal. Whomst? Oh, Milark, hello. You better henshin fast. Exactly. I don't think we've seen any multi-henshins in this season, have we? Like, you know, two henshins side by side or more. I wonder if they're leaving that for the finale. Yeah, be careful of damage to the terminal and stuff. I mean, they will be able to do more while on the moon. So, do you really want to get them down from there? Down from there? At least not yet. Okay. That's good, she now knows Milark's tricks. Where's Maria? Oh, there she is. Okay, just waiting for a signal. What is that attack? Grand Guignol. What is Grand Guignol? A body double? Okay. Sure. That is an attack. Absolutely. Who are you? An idiot sandwich. Sorry. I had to. Now they're gonna synchronize? Yeah, greater than the sum of the parts. Yep. Okay. We're getting a mini concert. Will it? It better not blow away the terminal. Chrysopia? Chrysopia. Ignition. I love how they're bringing the concert song into it. Okay, snake arm. I love the use of concert song here. Summum bonum Rosenkreuz. Sure. I've no clue what it means, but it's great. You probably shouldn't be dehensioning yet. Yeah, their synchronization. Oh, I guess Milark is still alive. Tiny Milark. Well, that's no bueno. Oh, that looks like a tear. And thus, Shemhais everywhere. Yep. You should be glad you're on the moon now. And of course, ending on a cliffhanger. As is the usual modus operandi for Symphogear. This episode really went by quickly. So perhaps there isn't going to be a big bad boss. I'm assuming episode 12 they defeat Noble Red or join forces. That's still not out of the question. And get back to Earth. And in episode 13 they somehow defeat Shemha. And yeah, there's 7 glowing stars. One of them is purple, so 100% Miku is joining as the 7th Ranger. I think I even used that ending scene once as a justification for why will Miku become the 7th Ranger. That was a cool episode. If my commentary was lacking, that's because I was so captivated by it. I really did enjoy myself during this episode. I really honestly did. So how about we enjoy ourselves once more, shall we? Battle of Shemha and Enki. Enki is a Sumerian or Babylonian deity, if I'm not mistaken. Let me Google him real quick. And I think he's like the creator of humanity, or something like that. Yes, Sumerian god of water, knowledge, crafts, and creation, and one of the Anunnaki. And he was originally the patron god of the city Eridu. Ideogram 40, planet Mercury. Worship, iconography, mythology, creation of life, and sickness. Yeah, okay. So Enki is the creator of life. Checks out. Why would Enki fight Shemha? I mean, we know why. Shemha wants to use humanity to gain power, but why was humanity created as biological terminals in the first place, if not for the purpose that Shemha wants to use them for? Yeah, Shemha defeated, seemingly, or rather, for now. Oh, that's no longer the opening. Interesting to see that they got split into pairs and separated from Noble Red. Like, you'd think that if all of them entered the teleportation circle at the same time, close to the same time, and got teleported all at the same time, they would all land in the same place. But no, they were split for whatever reason. I know it's just a story tool, right? It's used to get them into those pairs. There isn't really any in-world explanation of why it happened. It just did. But still, interesting thing to observe. Courage. And yeah, don't wallow, just have the courage and go forth with pride and whatnot. Interesting that Maria is giving that lesson to Tsubasa, isn't it? Usually it was the reverse. Yeah, it's a nice reversal. Ergetlam, of course, will lead them because it's Enki's thing. Her neuroconnectors, or whatever it was called. Neuron connectors. Okay. So I guess that was the experiment. Can we extend a person's spine to give them attachments? I don't know. But you think that now that she's been fully turned into a monster, it would no longer be some neuron connectors or whatever, but rather her intrinsic ability controlling those tails. Yeah, Elsa seems like the least changed of them all. Like her overall power, sure, is big, is a lot bigger than it was, right? She can fully turn into a metal wolf and operate four attachments at once. Uh, but ultimately, she didn't really change that much. Milark can like fully turn everything with those, biological blobs of hers, those wings and stuff. She can turn into bats. She can summon a body double and whatnot. Um, she can turn every part of her body into some sort of a weapon, which she was limited on before, only had the weapons that she had, not anymore. And now it seems like she could just crack her finger open and have a missile launcher there. Um, yeah, Elsa comparatively didn't really change that much. I wonder if she will be fighting. She can't. So I wonder what's gonna happen to her. Is she gonna be perhaps the only one to survive? Because Milark and her, I forgot her name again, the robot lady, are going to fight to the death, and they will be defeated and they will die. But since Elsa cannot fight, she will be spared. Maybe just, spitballing here. Henshin time. It's as great as the first time I've seen it, of course. They're not responding to our hails. It's probably the jamming. I thought it might be because they just weren't henshined. But no, Kirika and Shirabe are henshined. The communications are simply jammed. Shamha downloaded the blueprints for the ruins into my memory, but didn't tell us about the defense mechanisms. Like, see what I mean about her being entirely turned into weapons? Like, who thinks of this? And why? Like, I can understand a gun in the arm, right? You can use your arm, crack it in half, your wrist and palm swinging, and halfway through the arm you have some sort of a weapon. That makes sense, but laser cannons in thighs? Why? Why? And of course, Hibiki doesn't think that, oh no, those things were really hard to beat and now there's so many of them. No, Hibiki sees, oh, lot hard enemy, me need to hit hard. Let's hit hard because lot of hard enemy. And she hits hard and it solves the problem. And yeah, she doesn't need a spear, she is a spear. I don't know how, but you managed to make brute force look cool, because it is cool. Honestly, swinging massive swords around, to me at least, was always much cooler than having like two daggers and stabbing people bit by bit. No, swing once and properly. And it's the same with Hibiki. She doesn't rely on, hitting some weak spots and whatnot. No, she just punches, and if the punch doesn't solve the issue, she punches harder. Very simple, very effective, and very efficient. And very cool, indeed. It was you who took me in. Miku's desires. Who was it who wanted to connect with others to let them know how they felt? I mean, she did, but not by connecting directly to the brains of the entire humanity. You kind of misunderstood what Miku wanted. But I guess Kremha was able to exploit that weakness, that opening in Miku. Your name means the same, does it not? Kohinata Miku means future? This planet's rightful future. Your name means the same, does it not? I don't think so, but again, if you are more versed in Japanese than I am, I just only downloaded Duolingo. Let me know if Kohinata Miku actually can somehow be translated to future. Perhaps some kanji from her name mean future. Maybe Miku is future planet or something like that. I have no clue. And Miku seems to, at least for now, fully succumb to Shemha. I kind of wonder why Shemha even needed a vessel. She is the language, she is everywhere. Why did she need a vessel? Right? I guess maybe to concentrate her powers somewhere, to have some focus point, because she's been dispersed all across the world, essentially. So her influence, her power wasn't particularly strong in any particular spot on the world. But once she has some vessel, she can focus her energy, her existence on that vessel and bring up more power, probably. Probably what happens. Hello, Enki. Shemha also mentioned that name. Disabling restrictions on communications and part of the defense system. Yggdrasil has activated, indeed. And we hear some backstory. The reason that Shemha looked down on us as tools was because you were created to be tools. Humanity as a whole, or Lulu Amel. Humanity's brains were developed in preference to their physical capabilities in order to enable them to function as a cluster of biological computer terminals for the planetary terraforming device known as the Yggdrasil system. Okay, so Yggdrasil is a terraforming tool, and human brains are the computer that operates it. Is what I'm getting here. But question is, why would they try? Why would they want to terraform Earth? A look back through Earth history should make this clear. I don't think it does, actually. We created life, promoted, modified that life in accordance with our goals. Ultimately, humans, just another product of that process. Shemha revolted in pursuit of power, challenged us to battle, and turned herself into a language. With no other choice, we decided to seal Shemha and abandon the Earth. Why were you on Earth in the first place? Shemha exists as fragments of data, and thus network jammer known as Balal. So since Shemha is language, and language serves as interchange of data between different humans, different terminals, Shemha had the whole network connected. But once you jam those networks, once you scramble the languages, she no longer has a fully connected network. Like, she has a English network and Suomi network and Polish network and Czech network, but they aren't fully connected. How do people who are bilingual come into play here, though? Are they like, I don't know, a piece of a Cat5 cable connecting two terminals? I don't know. This whole Shemha is language and scrambling languages is jamming the network works, but under more scrutiny, I'm not sure if it does. Not in a bad way, right? Like it doesn't take me out of the suspension of disbelief and whatnot. I don't mind this explanation, but I guess it's just not an explanation full enough to like fully satisfy me. I guess you could say it that way. I'm not sure, and there probably won't be any more explanation than that. We are just given some essentially techno babble, and they stop at that. Take it or leave it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be some more explanation, but I'm not sure. To separate humanity, which was united by its one language. Yep. Indeed. And that succeeded in sealing her. So the Curse of Balal was really the Blessing of Balal, as we thought. Biological terminals to operate Yggdrasil. Maria's Henshin. Still as BDSM as always. Can't last 3 days without water. I mean, she's not wrong. Open bat. Duplicate. Some very interesting attacks she's having. I was thinking for a moment that perhaps Milark's downfall will be that her and the body double are always at all times in perfect synchronicity, and that the message is going to be that, okay, perfect sync is cool, but a little bit of asynchronicity can also help. And that when Maria and Tsubasa start fighting individually, then Milark falters, right? Because when she goes forward, her double also goes forward, but Maria comes from the front and Tsubasa comes from the back. So if Milark turns around to face Tsubasa, the body double will also turn around to face Tsubasa, and they will have Maria behind them, or something along those lines. But no, it seems like the way to defeat perfect sync is perfect sync. Like during the concert. Pride is something you can always get back. I love that they used the concert song for this. 3, 2, 1, ready, go. It's great. It's great. I was smiling the whole time. We never really saw a concert song used outside of the concert itself. So it's great. And the synchronized ignition. Masterpiece. Chef's kiss. I love it. I love it. And literal ignition. Burn bright, burn alone, there is no destiny. As it's burning and there is a phoenix rising behind them. Or a dragon or something. Chrysopoeia form. The beautiful flower. That's my favorite part of the Chrysopoeia transformation. Or, I mean, it has some proper name of its own, but I'm just gonna call it Chrysopoeia. That's the name I internalized, so I'm gonna keep using it. You're gonna have to forgive me. Dragon with pretty red ribbons. And her entire hand turns into a dragon arm. That's dope. Like, some Chrysopoeia weapons are cool, and then there is Maria with a dragon hand. More fire. Yeah, her weapon is great. I love it. And just using it as a flamethrower. Just like that. Milark can split into bats, but those bats individually are very weak, perish very, very easily. Just blast of fire and the bats are dead. Or weird dragon serpent thing that Maria just did. Summum bonum Rosenkreuz. I have no clue what it means. Tell me about it in the comments, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to Google it because I might get some spoilers or something. There isn't that much of the show left, but it's really hard Googling anything Symphogear related because most of the time you're just gonna see some spoilers on the Symphogear wiki. Was that incredible impact your song? Indeed. And now they are under attack. Doesn't really, doesn't really bother Genjuro. He's as calm and collected as always. And the Yggdrasil is rising everywhere. Now with Yggdrasil, I will remake all things. And the cliffhanger song, you can hear the cliffhanger song coming in. It's begun. The red earth. Instead of a red moon, bloody moon, we have a bloody earth. And 7 stars. 7 characters. Now you can see all 7 of them. Actually, now you can see like 8. Yeah, now this looks better. 7 stars. 7 colors. 7 planets. 7 notes. But only 6 characters on the screen. Where's the 7th? I don't know. Again, we only have like 2 episodes, so I wonder if there is actually going to be enough time to free Miku, to henshin Miku, and to have Miku join us against Shemha. I fear there might not be enough time. I fear it might end up with just defeating Miku/Shemha, or defeating Shemha, Miku being freed from her influence, and that's going to be the happy ending. I wonder. Forevermore. There we go. That was episode 11 of Symphogear XV, and this one was hype. Someone told me an answer to my question of where can we go from here. The answer was more hype. We can only go higher, and we are very much only getting higher. The concert song, that's probably the highest point so far, and we still have 2 more episodes to go. So what's gonna happen in the 2 more episodes, right? More hype, of course. That's the answer you're gonna give me, and you would be right most probably. That what's going to happen is even more, just plain more. And I'm in for it. I'm all in for more of what I've already seen. I will very gladly have more. Now, where is it going exactly though? And how exactly can we defeat Shemha? She is dispersed all across the network. She isn't in any singular location. So, how exactly can we defeat her? Defeating her in Miku's body, sure, that will free Miku, but Shemha will still linger around. And there's a chance that she will be back in maybe not a year, but maybe 100 or 1,000 or however many years. Shemha will be back somehow. So how do you get rid of her permanently? Since she is the language and you can't get rid of the language, you would need a conceptual weapon, a weapon created to destroy language. But then if you destroy language, well, you destroy language. What will humans use to communicate? Song? Song requires language. Another way, of course, is some other sort of MacGuffin that just cleanses the language from Shemha. Another way is just sealing her, but then making sure that she will never be unsealed by destroying the bracer for sure. And what else? Right? Who's to say that there aren't any other relics that Shemha can use as a focus point to restore herself? I guess one way would be to lure Shemha out of the language, so to speak, so that she collects all of her data, all of herself from the language. She cleanses the languages by herself, takes upon her full, proper form, and then attack that full, proper form and defeat it. Enki was able to. So who's to say Hibiki won't be able to? I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly, how they can solve this problem. All of the villains so far were very simple, ultimately. They had a body, they had a mind, they had a soul. Destroy the body, destroy the mind, destroy the soul, the villain is dead. Or get the villain to your side and they're no longer a villain. Simple. How do you fight a concept? How do you fight data? How do you fight language? Conceptual weapons is honestly the only thing that comes to mind. But the prospect of destroying language as a thing, language as a concept itself, that's a little too far, I think. I'm not sure, though. I'm just gonna note it down. The way to defeat Shemha is an anti-language conceptual weapon. Because also, why else would they be teasing conceptual weapons so much if not to fight a concept? Like, sure, thanks to conceptual weapons, we got some cool moments of, my conceptual weapons destroys everything that can be classified as a sword. Well, those aren't swords, those are my wings, get bent, right? That was a very cool moment, made possible thanks to conceptual weapons. But ultimately, a conceptual weapon that breaks swords, that could just be a very strong sword that's stronger than other swords and can destroy other swords. Simple. It doesn't have to be any, conceptual weapon that destroys the idea itself. So I have a feeling conceptual weapons might come into play here. I'm just not exactly sure how. Anything else that bears mention about this episode, I wonder? Right, I wonder what will be Elsa's role, as I already mentioned, since she seemingly cannot fight. Also, I wonder if they're going to go there. The usual... we know that Miku is still alive inside of her body, shares it with Shemha. I wonder if we're going to go for the usual classic trope of the person being possessed just fighting their way out and beating the possessing personality into submission. We already went through that, though, already. Why did I say already twice? We already went through that. I think at least like twice in Symphogear. So, would they do it once more? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, there's plenty of unanswered questions, and I wonder if they will actually be answered. Well, the biggest question, first of all, how can Shemha have that much power if she's dispersed across languages? Is the bracer really that big of a focus point? Because the languages aren't, united yet. They're still divided, but the Balal is still operational. Yeah, I'm gonna hope for some explanations in future episodes, but right now I think that's gonna be it from me for today. So maybe you guys have something to add though, and if so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, as usual. My Discord is here, also linked in the description, and you can talk spoilers in there without the risk of me seeing them. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why, please, so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel so you can notify the future releases of not only Symphogear XV, but also Gundam Witch from Mercury, Ancient Magus Bride, Benria Saitos Anisakai ni Iku, Oyuki Yumi no Kaina, and others that will be coming at you in the future. And you can also click the bell icon somewhere down there to be notified when I go live, because I do live stream sometimes, and that's the best way to get notified when I do. Support the channel monetarily if you want, on Patreon for example, linked in the description below, where for $10 a month you can get early access to non-seasonal shows like Symphogear, Madoka Magica and others, and for just a singular $1 a month you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. And if you don't want to spend any money, great, share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel an awful lot still. And yeah, now with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my beautiful Patreons: QB Without a Net, Fruit, Purple Songs, Zay Rayner, Aquamancer, Marsh, Yuki Ally, Fussel, Dr. Watt, and Hans Peter. And you can join the ranks if you want, and you don't need to become a language to do that.